Grammy goes to Mr. Controversy, Eminem.
Eminem.
Recovery!
From Detroit's brutal streets to the peak of global stardom, Eminem's rise is simply unbelievable. His controversial lyrics and the twisted genius of his alter ego, Slim Shady, kept pushing the limits of what rap could be.
You was like crazy back then, like real crazy.
Slim Shady wasn't just a character, he was one of the most influential figures in the world back then. But before he ever became an idol, he went through a very hard life as a troubled kid.
Beat up in the bathroom, beat up in the hallways, shoved in the lockers.
Hi everyone, I'm the Cold Bar, and if you don't know me, I'm starting my journey on YouTube making videos about music culture, and today we're diving into the heartbreaking life of Eminem, going deeper to show the real man behind the legend, the man that reinvented the style of hip-hop forever, proving that talent has nothing to do with race or culture. This is the story of Eminem. Marshall Bruce Mathers III, born on October 17, 1972, had a rough start. His mother, Debbie Nelson, gave birth to Marshall when she was 18 years old. His dad, Marshall Bruce Mathers Jr., took off when he was a baby, leaving him to be raised by his mom. Debbie left Bruce because of his constant beatings and his alcoholism. His attempts to contact his dad went unanswered, deepening his feelings of rejection and loneliness.
I never knew him, so...
You never met him since?
Never met him, never knew him.
Do you want to, or...?
I don't know. Some people ask me that. I don't think I do.
In his book, he spoke about his dad saying, "I won't lie, I will always have questions about my dad, but understood that I will never get answers. So he can go to hell. He can piss off. I don't want to know this guy. How much of a jerk do you have to be to abandon your own child? Or to speak to other family members in the way he talked to his uncle, and not even call his own child who never wronged him? There is no excuse for a parent to do what he has done. I don't give a if they're lost in Alaska or somewhere in the goddamn desert. I would find my daughters." One of Marshall's uncles, Todd Nelson, talked about it.
And his dad never wanted anything to do with him. Marshall tried to contact him. Debbie tried to contact him.
Debbie was dealing with her own struggles, including mental health problems and substance abuse, and it made everything at home chaotic. Some reports say she had a personality disorder, which only added to the chaos. She would even pretend to be sick and take too much medication, making Marshall's childhood even more messed up.
This used to be a store called A.O. Price. I used to go up here every day. My mother used to give me $2 for cigarettes. I used to go up to the store, steal the cigarettes, and keep the money for lunch the next day.
Debbie lived on government assistance and didn't pay her rent, moving from house to house whenever they were evicted. Because of that, Eminem was constantly changing schools.
So you had to change schools every couple months?
Yeah, I would change schools 2-3 times a year, and that was probably the roughest part.
Eminem's school years were rough and unstable. Constant moves meant he attended way too many schools, making it impossible to make friends or keep up with schoolwork.
I mean, we changed schools a lot. Like, we would change school. The longest I had been in a school was like 3 months.
He ended up repeating 9th grade 3 times because of poor grades and skipping classes. The bullying and his growing lack of interest in school eventually pushed him to drop out at 17.
You got beat up a lot as a kid.
Yeah, there was a lot of instances that I would
You got beat up coming home from school.
Beat up in the bathroom, beat up in the hallways, shoved in the lockers, just for the most part, man, just being the new kid.
One of the worst incidents happened when he was just 9, when a bully named D'Angelo Bailey beat him up so badly that Marshall thought he wouldn't make it out alive. He was small, plus he had a big mouth, recalls Bailey. He later described this in his song, Brain Damage.
I tried to plead and tell him we shouldn't be, but he just wouldn't leave. He kept choking me and I couldn't breathe.
Marshall got a brain hemorrhage and ended up a coma for several days after this attack.
My main concern was to get him, medical treatment, and because he was, when I found my son, he was on the floor, he was having a seizure.
Eminem first discovered hip-hop through his other uncle, Ronnie Nelson, who played him the track Reckless by Ice-T from the Breakin' soundtrack. That moment sparked his interest in the music that would later shape his life.
It was like it spoke to me more than any other music I had ever heard before.
But later, in 1992, Ronnie shot himself in the head after a breakup with his girlfriend. This upset Marshall so much because Ronnie was a father figure to him. Eminem references Ronnie's death in songs like the Stan song.
I read about your Uncle Ronnie too, I'm sorry. I had a friend for himself over some who didn't want him.
He then started digging deeper in the topic, and when he was 14 years old, he understood that he wanted to become a rapper. Eventually, he and his mother settled in a predominantly black neighborhood of Detroit, and around that time, he met Proof in middle school. This was the beginning of a strong friendship and musical collaboration.
I first met Proof with Goofy Gary on the steps at Osborne, handing out some flyers.
Longtime friends, Deshaun Holtman, he's a rapper too, his name's Proof. He used to take me up in the lunchroom at Osborne, and like, the kids would just like bet money and stuff. Like, we used to battle. I used to battle like a lot of kids in the school, a lot of other rappers and stuff.
By the age of 18, he was unsure whether he wanted to become a rapper or not. He recorded a few cassettes. However, they weren't selling well because a lot of people couldn't understand how a white guy could become a rap star.
Yeah, this kid over here, you know, he may have more chicks, like he may have better clothes or whatever, but he can't do this like me. You know what I mean? He can't write what I'm writing right now. And it started to feel like, you know, maybe Marshall's getting a little respect.
While working as a cook at Gilbert's Lodge in St. Clair Shores, another bordering suburb, Marshall got deeper into the hip-hop scene, performing at local clubs, traveling to New York for rap contests, writing his own songs, and constantly listening to hip-hop on headphones.
Every Saturday, I would make sure that I didn't have to work till 4 o'clock because I was going to the hip-hop shop every Saturday. Yeah, well, that's what happened. I started battling, and then in the hip-hop shop, the first battle that we had there, I won it.
But his dream of becoming a white rapper seemed ludicrous to some people.
The no getting away from fact that I am white, you know, and this is predominantly black music, you know, and people telling me you don't belong, like you're not gonna succeed because you're this color.
Eminem was gaining respect as a talented rhyme in clubs and open mic contests, but his personal life was full of turmoil. He constantly clashed with his mother and his girlfriend, Kim Scott, with whom he had a baby on Christmas Day, 1995. In 1996, he released his first EP, Infinite, through a local Detroit label. Despite his local reputation, the record didn't sell well, only about 1,000 copies, and he ended up giving many away. But as we know, this was just the beginning of his story.
I was an underground MC for years, you know. I was doing my thing. I was in a lot of rap contests, you know, in Detroit. I won a lot of contests, a lot of battles in Detroit. Took second place in the Scribble Jam in Cincinnati. Went to LA for the Rap Olympics. Was constantly battling, you know. That was my thing. That was the only way for me to get known.
In the spring of 1997, he recorded the album The Slim Shady EP with frequent references to drug use, sexual acts, mental instability, and violence, also explored the more serious themes of dealing with poverty and family difficulties, and revealed his sadistic, self-deprecating, and violent alter ego, Slim Shady.
Tired of being white trash, broken, always poor. Tired of taking pop bottles back to the party store.
At the time, Eminem and Kim Scott were living in a crime-infested neighborhood, with their house getting robbed multiple times. After getting fired from Gilbert's Lodge and being kicked out of their home, Eminem decided to go all in on rap. He took a gamble and headed to Los Angeles for the 1997 Rap Olympics, hoping to change his life.
And I was like super discouraged. I just got evicted from my house. Had to break in through the back of the house. The dude that we was paying rent to, he wasn't paying the rent with it. So one day this is literally the day before I go to the Rap Olympics and thank God for Wendy Day, man, because she paid for my plane ticket. But that day, we're like, what the I come home from work, me and my boy, and we're like, what the fuck, all our shit is on the lawn.
For the final, they were giving away Rolex watches, which he wasn't sure if they were real, but the $500 was real.
The first prize was $500. And I needed that $500, man, and I lost. And I was like, I was fucking devastated.
The end of the year 1997 was terrible for Marshall. He had $40 in his pocket, he was fired from his job, and Haley's birthday was coming up soon, and he didn't have money for a gift.
I'll never forget that Christmas. I sat up the whole night crying, cause daddy felt like a bum.
Even though he lost, he still caught the attention of an intern at Interscope Records who asked for a copy of the Slim Shady EP.
Gave my tape to some kids at Interscope, and Interscope gave the tape to Jimmy Iovine, and Jimmy Iovine liked it, and he gave it to Dre. He played it for Dre, and Dre liked it, and Dre was looking for me.
When Dr. Dre heard the album, he knew he had to find the person behind it.
And I'm back in Detroit now, fucked, right? I have nothing, like nowhere to go. And I get the call, and I'm like, oh, shit. You know, this is about to happen.
M, being a huge fan of NWA and Dre, was super nervous to work with him, but as we all know, they ended up being the best of buddies. This meeting was the start of Eminem's incredible journey to fame. Dre found Eminem, and the song My Name Is was released.
My name is what? My name is my name is Slim Shady.
And so, in February 1999, the Slim Shady LP was released. This was Eminem's first album with Dre and marked his first big commercial success. But the harsh lyrics of My Name Is led to legal proceedings against Eminem.
How you gonna breastfeed me, Mom? You ain't got no.
Debbie was deeply affected by these words. Eminem also accused her of using drugs.
Just found out my mom does more than I do.
His mom sued him for $10 million, yet only received a $25,000 settlement. But around $23,300 of that went to her lawyer. A couple of years later, Eminem released the heartbreaking song Cleaning Out My Closet, in which Eminem recalled the situation when Debbie said that she wishes Eminem would be dead instead of his Uncle Ronald when Ronnie died.
Remember when Ronnie died and you said you wished it was me? Well, guess what? I am dead. Dead to you as can be.
Fast forward to November 5th, 2013. When Eminem released the Marshall Mathers LP2, the internet went wild when he dyed his hair blonde again, harkening back to his early days. Some singles fell flat, but Rap God stood out, re-establishing Eminem as a top lyricist.
I feel like a rap god. All my people from the front to the back now.
One of the songs on the album is Headlights, which is his public apology to his mother for everything that he has said about her.
I'm sorry, Mama, for cleaning out my closet at the time. I was angry, rightfully maybe so. Never meant that far to take it, though.
In turn, when Eminem was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022, Debbie Mathers barely held back her tears of pride as she congratulated her son on his achievement.
Marshall, I could not let this day go by without congratulating you on your induction to the Hall of Fame. I love you very much. I knew you'd get there, and it's been a long ride.
She passed away in 2024, but fortunately their relationship ended on good terms. He reconciled with Kim as well in 2006, but they let her separated, and they now maintain a friendly relationship with one another. To the question of how often they see each other, she responded saying, not often, but enough. These days, Eminem lives a much more private life, focused on his family and away from constant public attention. He grew up surrounded by family problems, financial struggles, and addictions that could have ruined his life, yet he managed to rise above all of it and become one of the most iconic figures in the world. There are still many other details I didn't dive into here. Maybe I'll save them for another video. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment. What other topics would you like to see? This takes no time, and you are helping the channel. The next video I recommend watching is Why Eminem Never Feared Diddy. See you next time.